Alright guys, question of the day. Is Steve Hershel here truly the sequel to Race Damage Mood Springs in terms of being one of the best and most desirable cars ever to be released in the Disney Cars diecast line? I mean, Race Damage Mood Springs was released way back in 2010 as a single, and he has since become one of the rarest and most sought after cars ever. And sure, it does have to do with the fact that only 4,000 to 5,000 of him were produced and distributed, but it's also because he's so unique and iconic. Remember that scene in Cars 1 with him? You can't forget it, and you can definitely see how accurate his expression is to that. Now, Steve certainly does not appear in an iconic scene in Cars 3. In fact, if you're not really a hardcore fan, you probably don't even know where he does appear, but he's a Hearse. And to include that in a line primarily for kids, it's a little dark, right? A little morbid. I mean, they did have some Hearses in the Matchbox Mattel line, but they have since done away with that. So to do it in an even more centered around kids line, with the movies and all, is astounding. It's remarkable. It's monumental. It really changes the game. So we're going to break it down. I already have some preconceived notions as to which one really will have the longevity when people retrospectively look back on the Cars line, but who knows, opening Steve may change some things. But first, before we get into Steve, we need to decide who will be reviewed tomorrow. Option 1, and my personal vote, goes to Xanadu Bumpers, who's also from the same case as Steve. Option 2 goes to Kiel Motorray, who actually appears right next to Steve in the Cars 3 movie, so Kiel will have a nice little feature in this video. Option 3 is Bill Revs, just your typical rusty sedan. Super Chase Biz Torqsen, also up for grabs. And last but not least is Bob Cutlass, the Cars 3 version. So those are your 5 options. I would include metallic Nick stickers, but YouTube only lets me do 5 options. So hopefully you guys like one of those 5 and want to see him tomorrow, him or her, if you guys do choose Xanadu or Biz, because I believe those are females. But anyway, getting back on track here with Steve. For those wondering, I got this from GetMeCollectibles from the case unboxing that I did a couple days ago. Link to that review is in the description, along with the card suggestion pop-up in the top right-hand corner. And great guy, great seller, like I've always said. Definitely check him out. I have his email in the description below if you want to inquire, or the eBay store if you want to order something. So first of all, I love this guy's artwork. I mean, it is so vivid. It looks like a real car with eyes on it. I mean, you could just see the detailing there with the emblem. And Pixar does this. It's not Mattel, so props to Pixar for that. This guy is in the Florida 500 series, which, I mean, for a person who doesn't know Cars 3 back to back, like the back of their hand, it'd be super weird. It's like Mattel made a mistake. But yes, this guy did appear at the Florida 500. On the back, you could see some other Florida 500 dwellers like Kiel Motorray, Bob Cutlass, Fabulous McQueen, and Mater with 95 hat. These 3 are in Case E, which I unboxed. This guy's in Case H, which has only been found so far in Australia. It's opening. It's the opening race of the Piston Cup season. Who will take home the championship? Cruz Ramirez will. Anyway, you have Florida 500 there and a nice picture of the stadium as everybody's filling in. It seems like Steve was a little late to the game, but we'll talk about that when we open him up here right now. Here is Steve out of the package, looking absolutely stunning, way better than he did when he was in his plastic prison. And now, okay, so Steve Hershel is basically the Cars 3 version of Vern from Cars 1, who we see driving into the LA International Speedway. Both are kind of random characters just driving into the Piston Cup, and both have clear, obvious professions, but we have absolutely no idea how they carry out these jobs. Vern is a taxi, which, seems pretty legit, right? But Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, there's no getting in him. There's no getting inside Vern. I would maybe be more understandable if it was like a bus, but even those are too small, like a Manuel and the double-decker bus from Cars 2. So, I don't know. It's the easy way out. It's my excuse I say all the time. When you can't get into a car, you follow it. So, in my personal opinion here, for the taxi Vern, the car would just follow him. Like, you want to know where to get somewhere? You follow me, you pay me, we good. For Steve, perhaps a little trailer hitch maybe connects to him that would pull the coffin like a trailer, but I don't know. That seems reasonable. I'm going to go with that for now because unless cars shrink or they make them in a compact cube like Leland Turbo, there is no getting inside Steve Hershel either. So that is my explanation because I knew you guys would ask, and it's something that I think about too. I lay awake at night thinking about how this works. Just kidding, I don't lose sleep about that. I lose sleep about much more important things than that. But anyway, I just want to talk about that. By the way, there is Steve from Cars 3 as Cruz is feeling all mopey after Sterling just ordered her to leave because she was being annoying, I guess. And you can see Kiel Motorray on Steve's left side. Maybe they're friends because they're kind of, rolling in the same lane there, or maybe they're just strangers. Two very, very strange cars, but I mean, now they're like inseparable. Like, I will always think of Kiel when I think of Steve and vice versa. They would have actually made a pretty awesome 2-pack, but singles in the same case are cool too. So anyways, now let's dive into the review here of Steve. So obviously completely black. And I personally think he's supposed to resemble a 1950s Cadillac Hearse. I just kind of Googled 50s Hearses because that's just, what the time period looked on him. It looked like he was from the 50s or the 60s, and there's probably the best picture I could find. I mean, I think the tail fins really are like the best part of Steve, along with the textured roof and the symbol. So those were the aspects that are most similar to real life. The grille is where it definitely departs from a real life Cadillac. So there are a couple pictures, or just one, because I want to show you guys high quality pictures, and most of the pictures were a little grainy, like his eyes. Tylen, what are you doing here? You make an awesome car. The paint finish is, I can see myself in it. They're face reveal. But his eyes looks like he's got cataracts. Like, what's going on here? Come on. They could definitely do a better job with the eyes, and they have. Like, I'd say Kiel Motorray has some pretty awesome eyes. Maybe it's because the smaller space on Xanadu there, but I don't know. I think this is one of the poorer feats for Thailand in terms of their eyes. It's like they did so many awesome things with this guy, and then they just kind of, fizzled out with the eyes. But anyway, you can see the hood ornament there with the line. Nice grille, some headlights there, a little smile because he's off duty, going to see the Piston Cup even though he's late. He's late by quite a bit. He's late by, maybe a couple hundred laps or so. He's got some nice side view mirrors there. Of course, the textured roof and the textured symbol, which is remarkable, like I said, is the identification of a Hearse. Nowadays, they look a lot more boring. They're just like a typical silver sedan. They're not even really black anymore. Back in the day, they did have different colors, but most of them were black. Of course, double doors there, the windows, huge windows. Now, you see Hearses like this usually at like car shows. I've seen a couple there. Let's see what his license plate is. You gotta be kidding me. No way. Grim Grin. That's awesome. No way. I feel like that's like an Easter egg to something, but Grim Grin, that's pretty cool. All right, Mattel or Pixar, whoever came up with that license plate, that is awesome. Grim is in like, dark and Grim Reaper. But anyway, nice cool trunk emblem there. Very nicely done. The taillights are even painted. You can see kind of like the bottom tail fins as well, sticking out. Just a beautiful casting. And definitely contributes to his pros, even though I think there are some cons, like his fact that his eyes are a little grainy, and the fact that he didn't appear in an iconic scene. But you can see Made in Thailand there. 52nd week of the year. Same thing with Richie Gunzit. By the way, that review is also in the description below if you want to check him out. Now, since Steve is so unique, I really had no idea who to compare him to in this video, because you know me, I gotta compare him to somebody. I mean, everybody's pretty much kind of like somebody else, and so I thought other 1950s cars, but primarily this will be the contest of who has the best tail fins. Let's begin. Commence with flow. I honestly think the tail fins are one of the best features of Steve, along with the textured roof. And so that's what I looked for. I was like, who has the best tail fins in the Cars universe? And I think the answer goes to Sheila here. I mean, her tail fins are ginormous, and they have lights up top that protrude out. But Steve, you know, they're subtle. They're bold, but you know, kind of on the down low. I like that. Whereas these, they're showstoppers. They are trying to get the most flashy thing there. This is Rhonda, by the way. And this is Laverne. Did I mix up their names? I always mix up their names. This might be Rhonda. I don't know. Laverne, Sheila, and Rhonda. Who else we got here? Hank Halloween Murphy has some pretty nice taillights, or tail fins and taillights. Now this canceled blue two-tone coupe here is certainly the weakest tail fins I have ever seen. Like, it's like, come on. It's like a dog putting their tail between their legs. Come on, you gotta show those things off. We got Derek Decals Dobbs here. Some other protruding lights. Super easy to chip. My top two are chipped, actually, if you want to check that out. I mean, it is from 2010. I've since gotten another one to keep packaged, so I don't feel too bad about it, but those are just so easy to chip because they're banging up against the back of the case. Timothy Two-Stroke is double tail fins. Pretty cool. And last but not least, if I can reach all the way back there, Greta. Tail between the legs again. I think, you know, Steve has something unique going for him in the fact that he has like this bottom fin going on, like this second dorsal fin. Is that what it's called on a shark or a dolphin? I don't know. Another cool thing are those like little exhaust pipes or whatever they're supposed to be. I think that's pretty neat for sure. Yeah, 4 exhaust pipes. So that is pretty much it for Steve himself. Now the question comes down to who is better, Race Damaged Mood Springs or Steve Hershel. Now, Race Damaged Mood Springs, let's be honest, he's just a piston cut racer who we have hundreds of, you know, basically. And they all look very similar, just with different paint jobs. And he's just damaged, like, you know, just a little bent up, just like the King. But he is from an iconic scene, I get that. I don't know. Steve Hershel, definitely not an iconic scene. Probably not the best made diecast because of the eyes there. I don't know. I think they're pretty equal. I think time will really tell how these play out here. I personally, though, believe that no one will ever be able to surpass Race Damaged Mood Springs in terms of rarity, just because they make so many of these cars nowadays, even if they are only available in a certain country, like Carl Clutchen. But even with him, he's getting released again in Thailand. So my personal opinion is that Race Damaged Mood Springs might eventually trump Steve a little bit, but Steve, I prefer in my heart. So Steve, you have that going for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun putting it together. I mean, I always have fun reviewing something I really like. These cars recently Mattel has been putting out have been home runs. Like these 4 right here, this is the power 4 for sure. And I hope you guys did enjoy my video on Richie Gunzit. Yesterday, I know, I was really debating who to review first, Steve or Richie, but I think I did make a good choice with Richie. I was about to say Steve, but yeah, you guys showed great support on that video. Lots and lots of kind words. So thank you guys so much for that. I will see you guys tomorrow for probably one of these 4. Sorry, Bob. Sorry. Again, sorry. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.